We're having our Friedman Adventures meeting here to get our Christmas party all organized. And look, who's here? Michael Limon. Good job, Michael. All right, glad to see it.
Hey, Phil, guess what I caught it on? I caught it on yellowfin.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice, very good. Take care. Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, here in SoCal. We're sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach, and it's a cold, windy morning, but that ocean surface looks pretty good. We have Santa Ana wind, so it's blowing offshore, and so many times what it'll do is knock those waves down and leave you with some pretty flat, calm seas. That, however, is not the end of it, because around passes and canyons, it can get really, really nasty. Man, we have had outstanding fishing here in SoCal, and it is continuing. We're going to get through this weather. It's going to get much nicer by Tuesday, and then it'll be breezy, but definitely fishable. It won't be a problem at all until we get to next weekend when it goes to flat, calm. So if you're thinking about next weekend, the long-range forecast is looking absolutely fantastic right now. Make sure you hit that like button, my friends. Share these videos with a friend. Also, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures channel and tick the bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. Man, it's chilly down here this morning. Also, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Man, I'll tell you, that isn't even warming me up this morning. It's cold down here. I know we're big babies in SoCal. When I was living in China, it was 30 degrees below zero sometimes. It wasn't quite that cold, but it used to get really, really cold. And of course, you guys over there on the East Coast of the United States, I know, but you know, it is what it is. We're little babies here in SoCal. Man, I'll tell you, there is some outstanding fishing, and let's jump into it with you right now, because there's a lot to cover with you. Down there in Cabo San Lucas, there is really good fishing going on down there. There's some yellowfin tuna, there's some wahoo, and the striped marlin bite has been off the hook. Our friend Sean Morgan on the Wild and Sack out of San Jose del Cabo, actually. And Sean said the marlin bite down there has been phenomenal. Happy Thanksgiving, Sean, my friend, as we take you up the Baja Coast a little bit further. Boats that leave from San Diego, long-range boats. And in case you're not aware of that, you're coming from some other part of the world. We have people from the Philippines and Russia and Costa Rica and Mexico, all over this big globe of ours joining us. Once again, long-range trips leave from San Diego. They're typically, during this time of the year, fall trips, 8 to 11 days. And man, they are so good. You get such variety. You go several hundred miles south of San Diego into Mexican waters on the Baja California area. And man, it is so good down there. Wahoo, Dorado, grouper. You can get into some marlin bites. There's exceptional yellowfin tuna fishing. You can either bounce back up into Southern California on your way home and catch some bluefin tuna. The variety is outstanding, and the fishing has been off the hook. And all the guys have been in on it. Royal Star, we're Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle, and our very own live show here, Tackle Shop Confessions, is having a dream trip on board the Royal Star. Some big wahoo and Dorado and yellowfin tuna. It's been really, really great. Royal Polaris, Intrepid, you name it, they've been on it. Independence, it has been outstanding fishing, and it's continuing down there for those guys who are on those 8 to 11 day trips. So keep up the good work, boys. Keep catching them down there, and it really sounds good. Moving you up, down there around San Quintin, we've gotten some reports from those guys. They've had some really good big yellowtail taken, some nice big flatfish, all the rockfish you could possibly want. That's about 140 miles south of our border, and then we move you up to Ensenada just to cover that area, 70 miles below the border, and that gorgeous little coastal town producing really good rockfish right now. There's good calico bass fishing along the Punta Banda area. That area is really good. It's a rugged, pristine part of our Baja Coast, and man, I love it down there so very much. So much fun to fish there. the culture, the food, the people. Everything about Baja is so great, about Mexico in general. As that wind is really whipping up here, I think it's going to get even breezier here pretty soon. I can see the palm trees starting to sway. It's quite breezy here, and the U.S. flag is blowing as those Santa Ana winds are ripping through here this morning. All right, we've got Mexico covered for you. Let's talk offshore here in SoCal. In that tuna zone, it's been very, very breezy since last night, and right now it also is. It's going to come down on Tuesday, and as I said, you're going to have some breezy periods, but not really that bad. And then next weekend, after Thanksgiving, it is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So I'm telling you, you are going to have it all set up for you. Have a great Thanksgiving and then go offshore. It'll be a good time to do it. Let's make the point that it's not only San Diego-based boats that are catching those bluefin tuna right now, but it's also boats from the LA Orange County area. It has been really great fishing out there. Nighttime has been when you're getting that bigger great fish, 100+ pound fish, and many boats have been, in that 10 to 20, 25 range on that grade of fish. It is truly magnificent. 300 to 500 gram knife jigs, flat fall jigs are what you want to be fishing with. You want to fish nothing less than 100-pound Spectra, 2-speed reels, 200-pound leader material. Drop when the captain tells you to drop. Go to the appropriate depth using metered line, and you're going to be in the ballpark. And I will tell you right now, a novice angler can go on the right boat. Right boat meaning they have a good crew who are teachers. They take you and they teach you, and that's most of the San Diego-based fleet and many of the LA Orange County-based boats also. If you need a recommendation, you can always ask me and I will tell you. But I'm telling you right now, you can be a novice angler and go out there and get a 150-pound bluefin tuna or something similar to that, because the coaching and the crews are so good, and the gear that you're fishing with now is so darn good. So don't be intimidated. If you'd like to give it a try, I have no doubt if you're on the right rig, you can pull it off. You just need to listen. You need to be a good student and listen to your teacher on board. And that's the crews of the sport boats here in the LA Orange County area. Nighttime's been good. In fact, you get into those kind of sundown type bites, and then it fades in and melds in to a nighttime bite. And that's when you have been just putting the wood to some really nice, great fish. There's some of that 30 to 50 pound fish in there also. And then daytime has been mostly the smaller fish. I want to say 10 to 25 pound fish with a few bigger mixed in. Sometimes you'll get a 100-pounder. And when it's mixed up like that, man, you got to have at least a few rods ready to go. Something with 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon in case you're in one of those long drifts where you only have a couple of fish going at a time. You're going to want to definitely have some of that 20, 25 pound opsin fluorocarbon or the fluoro of your choice. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world. And then you might have to drop your blacktail hooks down to a number 4 circle hook, something like that will work really well. You want to have up to a 1020 size hook, also in case you get some bigger bait. It's been predominantly for the San Diego-based fleet right now, smaller sardine. And the same can be said for up here in the LA Orange County area. However, some guys come up with some live squid, and those BFT love to nibble on that squid. They really, really do. And that's when you can go to a bigger hook, like a 1/0 size hook. So make sure you vary your fluorocarbon, vary your hook sizes, and you're going to be in really good shape. And as always, choose a good hot bait, change that bait regularly. It makes all the difference in the world. Daytime fish a little bit smaller, nighttime fish a little bit bigger. It's been prolific. It's been limit style fishing for the most part. This wind, however, has created some problems, but it's going to be a thing of the past here very, very soon as a glorious sunrise is taking place as we move you closer to Thanksgiving, and the bite in SoCal is still going on. I don't know how you can beat it. So some really great stuff. Hey, by the way, yesterday was Captain Frank Lopreste's birthday. Frank, I want to wish you a happy birthday. Frank Lopreste, in case you don't know, is one of the real big names in sport fishing here in Southern California. I met Frank back in the 70s as a little kid. I was standing on the docks, and little kid. I was probably 18, 17, 16, 17, like that. Just got my driver's license, drove to Fisherman's Landing, and I jumped on board the Searcher. Frank was running the Searcher in those days, and I've known him ever since. I've seen all the good he has done in this industry. Gracious, kind, heart of gold, gives to so much kids fishing with Rollo and everything else. So, Frank, happy birthday to you, my friend. I wanted to make sure, even though I'm a day late on that, to tell you that. All right, let's talk islands, because islands, whoa, what is going on down there, man? All kinds of pelicans hitting the surf down that way. We'll see what's up with that. Maybe it'll work down this way. Some pelicans are flying over my head right now. The surf fishing bite, we'll get into that in a moment. Islands, we have seen some really good rock fishing at most of the islands. There's some bass around. And of course, the Pride the other day, after limiting out in a wide open bluefin tuna bite out of 22nd Street Landing, went into San Clemente Island. I think they ended up with 26 halibut. That is a sure sign of things to come. I'm telling you, next year's halibut bite is going to be phenomenal. This year was an incredible year. 2023 was great, but with all of this market squid around, and there's a lot of it right now, you're going to see another great sea bass year next year. Halibut year, it should be phenomenal. And our reverse 2.5-day trip on board the Apollo in June is going to be a great one. I mean, I could easily see great halibut fishing, great sea bass fishing, bluefin tuna, rockfish. That is going to be a good one. We'll be announcing our dates here shortly, so you're going to want to catch up on that. Up there in the Channel Islands, we'll continue to see excellent rockfish, unless you focus in on some of the shallow water stuff. And the sheep's head and whitefish bite has been spectacular, as evidenced by 540 Slingers Club. My friend Jeff Yeomans and the lucky people who were on board the Aloha Spirit just the other day. They had all kinds of big sheep's head and whitefish and had just the time of their lives. Jeff, so happy that you had a great trip out there. And as you said, what a way to finish the 540 Slingers Club charters for 2023. Man, you went out with a bang. There's no question about it. And that kind of fishing is continuing out there in the Channel Islands. The California is a half-day boat out of Ventura Sport Fishing. They're getting in on some really good fishing. They'll be running day after Thanksgiving. They're trying to get out all week long. And again, Ventura Sport Fishing right at the top in terms of their customer service and the fishing out there. Whether you're on the Endeavor with Tucker McCombs, he's got a trip on December 30th to end the rockfish season. It's a rare trip. When I say rare trip, he's chartered so much that it's hard to get on that rig. So keep that in mind, my friends. Please make sure you keep that in mind as you get a rare opportunity to fish there. And then in the Island Spirit, also some really good fishing there. Sheep's head whitefish, some rockfish. Up there, Ventura Sport Fishing has been doing a fabulous job. 805-676-3474 if you want to get on board one of those rigs out of Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing. They've been doing really, really good. Hey, by the way, I mentioned a whole slew of people who came down to help with our Christmas party, which is coming up on December the 2nd. I left out Charlie from the Fibbers Christian Fishing Club. Charlie, forgive me. Please forgive me, but there was a reason why. And that was because Bobby Lee now just donated 75 new pairs of shoes to Charlie, who's giving it to us to take down to Baja California, to Ensenada for Christmas. Bobby, thank you. Charlie, thank you. Love you guys. Thank you for making the world a better place, as have so many of you. And don't miss that Christmas party. Man, it's going to be fun. Santa's going to be there. Kids can make ornaments, Christmas music, a great meal for everybody, some great raffles. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. on December the 2nd. If you want to join us, make sure you reserve now. It is getting really, really full, and it's going to be fun, festive. It's going to be a really great time. 657-227-6459. There it is. You can see the number. Make sure you reserve right now and get in on what promises to be an outstanding trip. Hey, by the way, I didn't give you some scores, some recent scores here from the trips out of San Diego and LA Orange County areas. Just real quickly, most of that smaller bluefin tuna, that stuff is around a spot we call the 43. So named because it comes up to 43 fathoms, a bank that comes up to there. A lot of that bigger fish, there's some in there, but most of it's on the 60-mile bank, where you can also partake in some really excellent rock fishing right now. But that's where it's been. Pacific Dawn limits a bluefin tuna to 140 pounds. Pacific Queen limits 25 fish, 80 to 120 pounds. Pacifica limits to 140 pounds. Really great fishing there. Also, the Pride, we mentioned they had limits, and that 26 halibut, it doesn't get much better. And then they also had limits on the rockfish. So there has been some extraordinarily good fishing going on. Excalibur limits and several other boats. The Freedom will be going again. The Amigo's been in on some great trips. Also, we continue to watch the Thunderbird and other boats up and down the coast doing really, really well. Speaking of the coastal bite and the boats that are fishing the local waters, you know, half and three-quarter day boats down there in Ensenada. Great rock fishing for those guys, as we mentioned. San Diego, you have the Dolphin. Those guys have been doing great. John Ho has been out with them quite a bit here recently. Good morning, John. We see good fishing Oceanside and Dana Wharf and up the coast, Davies Locker, Newport Beach, Newport Landing, and then all the LA Orange County base landings right on up into the Channel Islands. And if you want to shoot all the way up there to Burgess and Morro Bay, we are seeing some really excellent bottom fishing going on in those areas. So that is really great news. Lobster fishing has been great. Guys are hoop netting at Catalina Island and doing really well. And then there's a lot of local spots also that have been very, very productive. Kay Vang, he was out and had some outstanding fishing here recently. It has been outstanding for so many people. Those things are so good to eat. And they're so costly. If you go to buy them, I think they're 50 bucks a pound. Correct me if I'm wrong down in comments if you know what local lobster's selling for here in SoCal, but I think it's like 50 bucks a pound, so you can really crash in. Man, I'll tell you right now, it is really good. The hoop netting. If you want 10% off your hoop nets, you can go to promarahi.com, put in Friedman 10 at checkout, and you'll be in really, really good shape. So we continue to see excellent fishing going on. Randy D'Amoto on the Pescador out of Redondo had some really great fishing. So it has been outstanding, and it just doesn't want to slow down at all. In the surf, we continue to see some really outstanding fishing up and down our coast, and you can get away with fishing in these conditions. In fact, when this wind blows offshore like this, man, you have a Lucky Craft lure and you throw it, it goes about 500 yards. You can really get some good casts in. So I don't know how much more wind we're going to get. It feels like it's going to hump even more here this morning, but we'll keep our eyes on it for you very, very closely. Fishing bait, a good idea right now. You can fish sandworms or go down and get some bloodworms at your local tackle store, dig up some sand crabs, although they seem to be a little hard to come by right now. Or you can fish artificials like a chrome crocodile, a Lucky Craft lure, or you can fish honey badger baits for the bar perch that have been running around here also. Bar perch, yellowfin croaker, spotfin croaker, corvina with the light line right here in the short water. And also you get that occasional flatfish, that occasional halibut lurking around here right now. A little bit more breeze starting to blow through here right now. Well, folks, I don't know what to tell you other than there is some really good rock fishing when you can get on it. Also for the local guys, as I mentioned, Monte Carlo's been picking at the sheep's head and whitefish. The Premier down there in San Diego with some really good fishing, limits of fishing on several boats. The Sea Watch down there out of Seaforth, that local rockfish bite has been outstanding. Something's drawing my attention. Those birds are going insane down that way. Whenever you see birds picking anywhere, it's usually a sign that there's some predators forcing bait fish to the surface. That's why the little birdies are getting interested in that. All right, it's a beautiful Monday morning. What can I tell you? Thank you so very much for all your help. You folks who are donating your time, resources, I can't thank you enough because we're going to make Christmas really beautiful for some people who need our help down in Mexico. And, you know, that says it all about the people from the USA, lending a helping hand across the border to our brothers and sisters in so many ways. Don't miss that Christmas party reserved today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll send you the address and everything else. I'll be posting that here really, really soon. Remember, Santa will be there. Kids can make ornaments, a great meal for everybody. Patreon members are free with a guest, and there'll be some dignitaries from the sport fishing industry, and it should be a lot of fun. Have a great one, my friend. Oh, by the way, Thanksgiving morning, 7 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning, we will debut. It's the grand premiere of our 5 days on the Independence. That video will roll at 7 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. You can wake everybody in the house up with my mouth blabbing away about what was really a tremendous trip on the Independence with great yellowfin tuna, great bluefin, and some wide open dorado. You're going to love it. 7 a.m. Thanksgiving morning, that video will premiere. By the way, Independence trip we have booked up for next year. It leaves November the 18th, comes back November the 26th, 2 days before Thanksgiving. 2 spots left the last time I checked. Jolene Thompson just grabbed a spot. Joe Martinez is on that trip. Scott Buchert, so many others of you who were on our 5-day trip. It is going to be a good one. Only 2 spots left. I hope you can grab one of those. Have a great Monday. Always a pleasure to spend time with you. And I hope to see you at the Christmas party or really, really soon. Take care, my friends. Have a great start to your work week.